Well, it's very good to see you at Wellington College. First question has to be, how is it being back at school?
It's cold this morning, isn't it? But yeah, really pleased to be back. I think I spoke to a few people a couple of weeks ago about just a lot of questions being how it's going to be back at school, but I've really enjoyed the kind of pressures of being away from the game a bit and just kind of getting back to see my mates and just getting back to the school and catching up with my A-levels. And the main thing now is just I've got a couple of months where I can just focus on my work and get on top of everything.
Right, let's go back to this time last year. If we'd been stood here, would you have believed if I told you the sort of second half of the summer that you've had, or did it all just happen much quicker than you expected?
I've been asked this question quite a bit, but I think looking at it now, if I said to somebody a couple of weeks ago again was if I was to play, my main at the start of the summer was to play a couple of second team games. So I think if someone had told me this, it would have been, I just said you're being stupid.
I remember when you got drafted in for the T20, that was first up, the T20, and I remember speaking to you then and you saying that actually you weren't that nervous playing in those T20 games, you just went in and enjoyed them. You picked up those 4 wickets at Glamorgan. Was that a good starter for you, playing in the T20 to get you settled into it?
Yeah, I think so. I knew from when I spoke to Stu a bit and he thought there was going to be a chance of me playing in some of those games, I knew it was going to start with the T20 stuff. And I think a T20 is a game where I found I could be a hero or come off very badly. So I think it was a good the first game didn't go as well as I would have liked, but then we had Glamorgan, which I got a bit more confidence, and then obviously I got my chance in the one-day stuff, and then which led to the championship stuff. So I think each format was complementing each other in a way. So each game I played was giving me a bit more experience in how to play at this level. So I think when I played my first Champo game against Kent, and I think I'd played enough games to know I was nervous on my first championship debut, but I think again very excited because I know I had played at the level and just wanted to execute my skills.
How important was it to get a wicket early? You got a wicket very, very early in that championship game against Kent, just to settle any nerves that there were there.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. I was almost, whoa, I got a wicket already, but it was an easy game at the start, wasn't it? But no, I think it did start off well, but then I got back to reality and almost was like, right, I've got to work hard on my lengths here, a couple of bad balls, and then got to get back to it. So I think it was nice having Bats and Kumar there, especially because the experience there and the tips they were giving me was just quite extraordinary.
And the other thing was, in the championship, you got better and better as the games went on, and getting the new ball as well. That must have done your confidence the world of good to be given the new ball and that responsibility by the captain.
Yeah, exactly. I think I wouldn't have really liked it if I was kind of waiting. Obviously, I would have been excited, but there would be a lot more nerves while standing in the field if I wasn't opening the bowling. So I think, again, going back to that first wicket, I think it was Joe Denley, I think. So I think it did give me a lot of confidence to kind of, right, I got my first one off my back now, just to crack on with everything else.
And the first 5 for as well, to get that under your belt as well and tick that box off, and you did that quickly. That must have been a lovely moment, I thought.
Yeah, it was. I think I got told by Bats the night before I was going to play, so I was very, very excited. Didn't get much sleep, so I think getting it off my back was, I think, my main aim. Well, obviously we won the toss, and I think we bowled first, so that was quite nice to just get it out of the way and kind of crack on with the game.
And batting, to get that 50 in the last game of the season, but you'd already given us an indicator of we know what you can do with the bat. The big one for me was that innings against Gloucestershire at Bristol, where you sort of came in as the night watchman, then batted so well the next day. You must have been pleased to get that 50 under your belt last game of the season as well.
Yeah, I was. I spoke to a couple of guys. They called me the 40s man. So I think I got the 40 against Gloucester, and then against Gloucester again in the one-day comp, another 40, and then and then Derbyshire got a 49. Mm-hmm. So I think against Northam, I think was my last chance to actually go and do it. I was batting at a nice time as well. The ball was quite old, and I just had to settle in there with Will. So I had quite a good partnership with him, and then got quite dark, so it was quite tricky to get through that stuff. And then I think it was just relief as well. So because I've been working hard on obviously I came into the team as more of a bowler at the start because a couple of injuries to Trem and Linnes. So I think my main focus at the time was definitely my bowling, but in the back of my mind the coach was always saying to me, just keep working the batting, because I know in the academy stuff I was playing as a batsman. So I think a nice thing for me was when I didn't bowl very well, I knew I can contribute to the bat. So I think that was a big thing, especially looking for this winter now, working very hard with GT and at the academy stuff. Obviously I won't be able to get to the Oval as much, so I think focusing on my batting will be a big thing, and just getting strong in the gym.
And the one-day stuff, I know the final was disappointing, but it was a hell of a ride to get there, wasn't it? And playing in a final at Lord's must have just been something very, very special.
Yeah, I think looking back at the comp, we won every single game except for that one against Somerset. So I think we're always going to blow up in one game. So, but looking back at it, it was probably probably my best format. Looking back at it, I just quite enjoyed that, because I'm always in the game and the one-day stuff. So, but obviously the Lord's final was very disappointing, and I think looking back at it, I do take a lot of positives from it. But obviously the main result we wanted was a win. But I've been told by a lot of people, obviously I did myself proud and stuff, but I know the main thing on that day, looking at we did some great things. Jade's 6 for, and we were in the game the whole time, and I knew that the whole way through, if I batted as deep as possible, we could get close. But unfortunately, it wasn't our day. So I think now that's good. At least we got a final and then a championship. So now we've got a lot of confidence going into next season. I know it will be a step up for me going Div 1 if I get a chance. So I think this winter there'll be a lot of things I know I want to work on.
Final question. What was it like playing with the brother? People have turned that question around to Tom, talked about him playing with you. What was it like playing with Tom? It must have been very proud to see your brother at the other end doing what he's done, because he's had an unbelievable season as well.
Yeah, it was really nice. I think it was always nice knowing, like, when I travelled to games, on my first few games, he was going to be there, and I almost had someone to lean on. But looking back a couple of days, that Notts final and the semi-final was my dad's birthday as well, so we knew that we were on there together, and just he'll be very proud of us and stuff. And we knew the whole time that he always wanted us. He pushed us quite hard to be professional cricketers, and now that we're doing it together, we've got my other brother Ben, who's gone to Australia now, so hopefully when he comes back next year he gets to go somewhere, and then we all be together. And that was the main thing, having Tom, especially opening the bowling together. And it was quite emotional the first game, where I kind of realised I actually was playing with him, but I think it settled in, and he supported me quite well. Obviously had a good season. I'm really chuffed that he got on the EPP stuff, because I knew at first when he didn't, he was quite disappointed. So I think he goes away to South Africa pretty soon, and I'm sure he's got to have a good winter as well. So yeah.
Well, it's been lovely to see you. Thanks for inviting us down. You better go back. Is it business studies at the moment? I think we've taken you out of a business studies.
11:30, I'll be there.